Hello, stream. Oh, hello, stream. Hello, hello, hello. Hold on, I have feedback. There you go. Okay. Hello, everybody. Let's keep the stage clear for a second. Hello, hello, hello. If you guys don't know, we're having in a couple of minutes a quite intense political debate here, so it's gonna be quite amazing. Wait, what was that? Is that my... Oh, fuck, Siri just opened. That's crazy. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Oh. Okay, I will, Heinz. Alright, I'll get people on stage in a second. By the way, guys, I just want to say, I just wanted to say that... Ooh. I got the drip for the debate, guys. Pretty amazing. I put myself a nice blazer on. Okay, anyways, let us get the people on stage. So Jamapple, get you up here. Where are my other friends?
They're still in VC.
Okay, so they'll join in a second then. Games, don't stop the trolling, sir. Fuck. Okay. Let me do a quick ping. We had 54, but I'll just do a news ping just for fun. And there you go. New Legion News Network. Okay, there you go. And I'll just ping my little division. If only I had 3 monitors, like I could do this. Okay. Do I have my friends in here yet? Are they in? Is Heinz in? Rain is here.
Hello, Rain.
Oh, Heinz is here. Alright, there you go. Good. And Nether is here as well. Alright. Excellent.
Sigma.
That's good. Yes. And we're waiting for...
Oh,
we have everyone. Okay, that's great. So... okay, can everybody introduce themselves and which side of the American election they stand on? Heinz, you can begin. Just say hi and say which side you're on.
He has Texas speech. Maybe you should go.
He's gonna give him a second.
I'm Heinz. I'm Kamala.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
What the fuck, Heinz? You traitor! You traitor! Okay, now.
Yeah, that's
well,
funny.
I think he's a little bit wishy-washy. Okay,
I am neutral, but I had to pick one.
Well, you don't have to pick
That's
one,
funny.
Heinz.
Whatever, it's fine.
Anyways,
That's funny.
Nether, go ahead.
Fuck, I can't say that word. I'm Netherwater. I am not a Trump supporter, but like, I think Trump is better, personally.
Okay.
Trump is better.
Jam?
The urges are getting to me, Pass. I'm sorry, I can't. I need to say it.
I'm Jamapple.
I need to say it.
I
need to
believe
fucking say it.
Harris is the better candidate in this election.
Amazing. And Rain?
Rain already won. Yeah, he just won.
Rain. No, Nether just won.
No, he went. Okay,
Rain,
fine, say it.
Rain, it's you. Rainpower. 3. It's your turn, Rain. Introduce yourself. Oh, is that my internet?
Yeah, I think it is your internet.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Ash, go over rules before we start.
Yeah, Ash, go
Let me
over
do the
the
internet
rules.
speed test, guys. Hold on. Am I still good? Okay, I'm still good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
MrAshApple, and I am in support of Harris. So, basic ground rules. Everybody is entitled to a 3-minute opener if they wish so. If not, they can yield their time. So if the Trump supporters can have one person say it and then yield their time, they can do that. Other than that, we'll try to avoid personal attacks because they don't make for a very good argument. And we'll try to stay on topic as much as possible. And if you are going to make a factual claim, try not to lie. If you wish to provide some sort of source or whatever, you can put it in the stage chat if you wish. Yeah, stage chat probably. Is that a thing? Can people use the stage chat?
No perms.
I don't think people have perms.
Okay, so what I'll do. So what I will do is that I will give you guys just perms to post things in shitpost. I guess I'll give you birthday rolls for a second. All right. Nether water, Heinz, Rainpower, Jamapple. Okay, you guys, for a very short amount of time, will have permission to speak in shitpost announcements. Don't send random shit there, but if there's something like a chart or anything you want to show, you are free to post it there and direct the listener's attention to it. So congratulations, happy birthday, guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, all right. I think we're gonna be just about ready to commence. Just check if my recording is going well. Okay. I think it's good to go. Let me just check my DMs before I start. 50 images in my DMs. Okay. All right. We're good then. So, would anyone would like to go first? So Heinz, Nether, Rain.
Yeah. Would you like to go first or second?
Ladies goes first. Ladies goes first.
That's
Yeah,
fucking
ladies goes
crazy,
first.
man.
I opened the door for you. Go.
Okay, so
No
you guys,
personal attacks.
yeah.
I'm just saying. Ladies goes first. Yeah.
Haha. Okay, so you guys don't want to go first, Rain, Nether.
No.
Okay.
I'll let you guys start.
All right, let me take a sip, then we will begin. Okay. All right, so, today, obviously debate about the American election. We're gonna be talking to each other on the stage, but really, who we're talking to is to the. Who the fuck is ringing a bell? What is that? Is that someone's soundboard? Oh my god, I'm gonna block this guy, bro. What the fuck? Sorry, someone's messaging me on Steam, and I keeps making noise. I sincerely apologize, guys. Can someone else go? I have to fix my Steam. Sorry, Rain or Nether. Yo. Yo, Rain, are you guys AFK? Hello? Is it my internet? Guys.
Okay. Do I have to start from the top again? I need to start from the top again.
Were you speaking?
Ash,
I
you
was
were
speaking.
deafened.
I was speaking.
Someone deafened you.
Oh,
Oh, did someone command deafen me? Oh, what? Okay.
Oh, PM Boxer, you madman.
I'm getting this guy strike. Okay. All right. Sorry. Okay. Go ahead. All right. Now the recording's ready, and then the guy has stopped. Has stopped making a noise. So.
Okay, so, our opening statement is, I think Trump is a better option for this election this year, because most of his ideals are more lenient to our ideologies, I guess. And And I think Kamala, she can't speak, so like I think Trump is better, you know. Type shit, yeah.
Okay. Rain, wanna go?
Yeah, now you.
Better because it stops illegal immigrants. I don't. Although illegal immigrants does have its benefits and cons, I think they should like not be able to jump over the border and shit. And just
And
like
we-
enter without any documents and shit, which would prove a security issue.
And we live in both blue states as well, so
Yes.
like, it's kind of stinky here. Okay, it's kind of shit here. Okay,
Alright.
we live in
my
Washington and
statement.
Cali. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
Alright, you guys
so I
can
guess
go.
that's just alright. Then I'll go then. So okay, obviously me and the folks here in the stage are gonna be debating, but really who we're talking to and who I mostly want to talk to is to you guys in the audience. Fuck off, bitch. Actually, fuck off. All right, thank you. So most people here probably can't vote, and most people here, maybe some of them, aren't even American, including me, ironically. But the thing is, in the future, you guys will
Canadian.
vote. Hopefully, in the future, you guys will vote, and you guys will have an impact, and what you guys will do will actually matter. And so the question here is going to be like, who do you believe? And a lot of people here in the audience will disagree. Trump, Harris, God forbid, Jill Stein. But I don't actually believe in the undecided voter. So everybody picks a side one way or another. However, I think most of you can have your minds changed, and that's why we're debating tonight. So there's many directions we could take the argument about Harris and Trump. I could talk a lot about the moral character of Trump, but I think you guys have mostly heard everything there is to say about that. You guys know that he cheated on his wife while she was pregnant. You guys know that he's a felon. You guys know that he raped a woman. Like, you guys already know this stuff. So I think, and so you've either assimilated information and accepted it, or you've rejected it. And I don't think there's much I can do here to convince you about that. And I think a lot of you might say, well, yeah, he might be a terrible person, but what I care about is the border. What I care about is the economy. What I care about is inflation. And so that's what I'm going to try to address tonight. And I'm going to try to convince you guys that what Trump proposes in terms of policies will not help you, unless that is you are a billionaire, in which case, obviously, it will help you. But I don't think that's most of you guys. And so that's the direction we'll go in. I'll go in tonight. And I yield my time.
I think
Heinz,
Jamapple can go now.
Heinz, would you like
right?
to say something?
Oh, Heinz, yeah.
So Jam,
Mm-hmm.
I'd met you the thing. I'm not
Sorry.
typing it out.
Okay.
So do you yield?
Oh,
Okay.
Is
Bro,
that it?
why
Do
does
you
bro have
yield
text to
your time?
speech, bro? Use your mic, bro.
He doesn't have a
JMA,
mic.
read it out. Jam, read it.
Where did
yeah,
you send it?
I
Yo.
sent you it.
Okay, but bro,
Yeah.
Heinz,
I
I
see.
think you have a debate with someone speaking through someone else, bro.
Ugh. Heinz said, I'm more neutral, but I don't support the handling of the COVID-19 pandemic by Trump and the handling of immigration by Kamala Harris / Joe Biden. This is my opening statement.
Okay. All right. So let's
Now-
jump
can I,
right into
can
it.
I,
So, yes, Sifi?
can I give you a counter argument to the thing that you said
It's
about
an opening
Trump?
statement.
Okay, fine.
Go ahead.
Fine. Yeah, I'll. Okay, no. Let's keep, just keep on.
Yeah, go ahead. No, we're beginning now. It is
Okay,
it is
okay.
You
commencing.
can go first.
Okay, guys, you know how much of a shit person Winston Churchill and Franklin D. Roosevelt was, and we still like picked them, and like that was the reason we won World War II. Well, then like in a moral argument, we don't really care about how shit they are. We really care about what they would do to our nation, which Trump will benefit our nation way more, bro. Like our economy will be way much better, and it won't be like shit, and we won't get drafted into World War fucking 3, because people have respect on our name. I
Do
don't
you-
know about Kamala. I don't think she has any respect on her name. She can't even fucking say a sentence.
Do you think the
No, you can-
international
you can
community respects Trump more?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You think the
Yeah,
outside
really.
you think the
Manipulated.
outside world respects Americans more under Donald Trump?
Yes.
Well, I think you'd be gravely mistaken. So during the Trump administration, America was essentially a laughingstock for the rest of the world. Sure, the economy was doing, and I'll address the economy in a second. But under Trump, Trump was considered by other world leaders as a complete buffoon. But not only a funny buffoon, a dangerous and unpredictable one. So I'll take the example of Canada. During the Trump administration, random tariffs were imposed on steel and aluminum. Now, this didn't help Americans, because American steel industry wasn't developed because Canadian steel cost 20% more. That didn't affect the actual American aluminum industry. The only thing it did was that it drove up prices for the Americans, and it also caused big headaches for the Canadian companies. Trump was considered to be just a wild card, someone who would say things, someone who is unprofessional, and obviously that while that may resonate with some people in America, that's not something that brings respect to your country. Predictability is a big thing when dealing with international relations. Take China, right? Why has China not attacked Taiwan yet? Why is China much less antagonistic to the West that Russia is, right? Russia going into Ukraine doesn't really give a shit about the West. The West, we keep sanctioning and cutting them off. Why doesn't it work? Because there is no reason to be kind to the West. China is economically dependent on America. If Trump wants to impose massive tariffs, cut off trade, and have massive trade wars, and make China less dependent on the West for its trade, then China has no reason to care about what the US says. Just like Russia doesn't care about NATO when invading Ukraine, because Russia has nothing to lose with the West economically.
But Russia is still suffering right now, right? Like, you can see that.
Well, you'll see that the Russian war effort is pretty much undeterred by Western sanctions, because they're already sanctioned like hell. Right? The gas was cut. Russian economy, while it did go down significantly at the beginning of the sanctions, has essentially rebounded. You've seen billions of dollars of Russian assets confiscated by Western countries. It didn't make a dent. The Russian war effort is still going, and the oligarchs in Russia are still supporting Putin. Right?
Alright, you wanna talk about the Russian wall, right? So, like, what is the hell of... We wasted so much fucking money and aid to Ukraine, right?
Do you know how much money we give to Ukraine?
Like, billions, right? I can look it up right now.
Sure. Do you know how that aid was given to Ukraine? Under what form? Wire transfers?
Congress has passed 5 bills to...
No. What did we give to Ukraine? Did we give them straight cash? What did we give?
You guys gave cash, weapons,
Military equipment.
like hella shit, bro.
We gave
So what was
material
giv-
to Ukraine.
So yeah,
Military
exactly.
equipment was worth
And
the
also,
whole amount
if
of
we
money.
keep going with the military equipment, what was when Joe Biden pulled out of Afghanistan, we left so much fucking shit for them as well, bro.
You
didn't
think we
bring
were
shit
supposed to
back
stay in Afghanistan with the? You think we should have brought the equipment back? The point? Do you know what the purpose
But
of
still,
leaving?
we wasted so much. What?
Do you know?
Our
Do you know?
servicemen
Do you
were
know
more
why?
important
Do you know
than
why we
that
had to waste the equipment? Because
Why did we?
okay. First of all, do you know why we were involved in Afghanistan in the first place?
Yes.
Yes, to destroy the Taliban and to support the government that the Americans put in place there, right? And so that eventually America could leave Afghanistan, and that government could control the territory against the Taliban. Yes?
I mean, I guess.
Okay.
But
When America
yeah.
pulled out, the equipment that was lost was equipment meant for the government there. The government failed because America left in a haste and didn't allow them to prepare. Right? The idea that there was a set date for leaving, that wasn't Biden's idea. That was Trump, right? Trump keeps taking credit for it. He said, we pulled out of Afghanistan, and we ended all the wars there. Right? But that can't be true at the same time as blaming Biden for the disastrous pullout, because Biden had no control over the time frame of it. Because if he had control over the time frame, Trump wouldn't be over here saying, well, we had no wars, and I pulled out of Afghanistan. Right? So the equipment lost.
Trump said that? Wait, Trump said that?
That there was no wars and no active wars during his presidency? Absolutely. He has claimed multiple times that there were no active conflicts during his presidency. And that he got America out of all wars. But Trump can't claim credit for pulling out of Afghanistan, while at the same time criticizing Biden for doing a bad job there, because the time frame was indeed set by the Trump administration. And the equipment lost wasn't American equipment that we just gave to the Taliban. It was equipment that was meant for the government of Afghanistan that was lost because we pulled out so fast that the government completely collapsed. So obviously all the equipment they had was lost.
But like, we went into war with Afghanistan way before that, though. That's the thing.
Absolutely,
And like,
yes.
no. The only reason Trump said there was no war when he was in charge, because we weren't at war with Israel and we weren't at war with
You were still not at war with Israel.
Yeah. Oh no. Ukraine wasn't at war with Russia and Israel
Yes.
wasn't at war with yeah.
Yes. And
That-
yes,
what
but
he- I think
Afghanistan
that's
was
what he
still an
claimed.
active war zone.
It was for a long time, right?
It still was until the end. It never was not a war zone.
And like Joe Biden, he like encouraged American troops to bring back American troops home, right?
So
Leaving-
pulling out of Afghanistan was Trump's idea. Biden was forced to continue it because Trump started it. But because of the time frame, when Biden inherited the Afghanistan pullout, there was no option but to leave immediately. And the equipment that was left behind was equipment meant for the government that the Americans supported in Afghanistan. But because the pullout was so rushed, that government was immediately taken over by the Taliban. So yes, the equipment was lost, but the pullout of Afghanistan was predicated on Trump saying he wanted to leave all the war zones. Now, I don't support American intervention in Afghanistan. However, to claim that the pullout was bad because of some sort of Biden's managing of it, as if, first of all, as if Biden has any say in the day-to-day operation and the equipment taken back of the U.S. Army. That's the first thing. So to blame him directly for that or his administration is pretty ridiculous. That is up to the Joint Chiefs of Staff and the Army. And second, to blame him for the time frame which he did not even set, and the equipment which was not even meant for U.S. troops, but for the remaining government, to blame Biden for that is ridiculous. But I think we should go back to the main point about respect. And I guess you brought up World War III. But the idea that Trump was somehow respected by international leaders is pretty ridiculous. The only people he seemed to be friendly or respected with were dictators like Putin, or people he somewhat complimented like Xi Jinping, or people he really complimented like Kim Jong-un. These aren't the people you want on your side. And these people didn't like Trump because they had respect for him. They liked Trump because they could get away with much more than under other administrations, because Trump was so friendly to them and so lenient towards them. Trump says, I could have ended the Ukraine war in one day. Sure he can. He would have just given Ukraine to Russia. And he was unable, you'll remember at the debate against Harris, Trump was unable to answer the question. What would a peace deal between Ukraine and Russia look like? Would you advocate for Ukraine to keep its territories? He was completely unable to answer. Because the truth is, he would just give Ukraine to Russia. So the idea that he's respected by the world leaders, he's liked by dictators, not because he's feared, but because they can get away with anything they want under his presidency.
Okay, send some proof about that.
About what? The debate?
Yeah, no. He's liked because he.
Why do you think a
let them-
dictator
yeah.
would like Trump?
Because they're afraid of Trump. Yeah.
Why would they be afraid of them if Trump is being
That is-
lenient towards them?
Confident.
Are they really that lenient towards Trump?
Trump said he would end the war in Ukraine in one day. Now, how do you
He's not
see...
gonna give Ukraine over to Russia, right?
You
No, he
think?
would. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Probably
would.
would.
He
Which is
would,
a bad thing.
right?
How is
How's
it
it
a bad thing, Jam?
How's it
How's it bad?
You think Ukraine should be handed over to Russia?
Yeah.
Are you going to deny?
I mean,
Ukraine's
technically, it would cause less
right to
casualties.
exist?
Yes, if
Yeah, it
you
would
hand them over, it
cost-
would cause
yeah.
less casualties.
And,
Who's
and
us? You're not
and
losing any
NATO
men.
was pushing
Yeah.
it. NATO was pushing it, right?
Pushing
NATO,
it?
NATO, yeah.
How was it pushing it? You mean countries willingly entering a defensive alliance? How is that pushing it?
Exactly.
I mean, Russia was threatened, don't you think?
Really, Russia was threatened by Ukraine.
How was Russia? Yeah, how is
Ukraine.
Russia threatened
By
by
NATO itself.
And you know what? You know what's the funny thing, Siffy? Did you know
What?
that Ukraine and Russia actually agreed to not fight each other because when the Soviet Union disbanded, Ukraine still had thousands of Soviet missiles on its territory. Ukraine handed them over to Russia in exchange for security guarantees. I guess those security guarantees didn't come in handy during 2022, though. Ukraine wasn't threatened by Russia. Russia thought Ukraine was threatening in 1990s, but it's not. They handed over the nukes. Russia has no reason to fear Ukraine at all.
And also, I just want to point out that the argument of the Russian minority oppressed in the Donbass is a ridiculous argument. First of all, it's a policy of de-Russification. So I don't know if you knew, under the Soviet Union, in Lithuania, there was essentially a cultural genocide of the Lithuanian population in terms of their culture, their language. And so Russia, and there was basically a Russification, where Lithuanian was it was banned from being spoken at the government level in Lithuania. And essentially, a lot of people were unable to speak Lithuanian. And so upon independence, Lithuania went on a massive campaign of de-Russification to get their culture back. And Ukraine has basically done the same thing. In the eastern region, under the Soviet Union, there were laws in place to ensure that Russian culture was going to be prevalent in Ukraine. So essentially to Russify Ukraine. And following the independence, obviously, the government put in place policies to limit that. And so the idea that there is some oppression, when it is actually countering the effect of a Soviet attempt to quash Ukrainian culture, is really ridiculous. Added on to that, the fact that the so-called People's Revolution in the Donbass, in Luhansk and Donetsk, the fact is that the Russian troops were present in these areas when the revolution happened. So the so-called People's Revolution was actually simply Russian troops marching in, the exact same troops that marched into Crimea, the same blank uniforms. And so the idea of a popular movement to go towards Russia is ridiculous when Russian armed forces were literally the ones taking the government buildings in Donbass.
But still, Russia was okay. Pass, speak. Yeah, you want to? Yeah,
Okay.
pass.
Okay, I know that relates to fucking Russia and the fucking, invading shit, but how the fuck does that relate to the fucking Ukraine and Russia war right now? I mean,
Well, the idea is that Russia is an imperialist power, and Russia invaded
Yeah.
Ukraine when it had no reason to.
yes.
Wait a second. Didn't Russia try to join NATO, and then they rejected that? Right?
Yes, Russia tried to join NATO. Why would NATO let Russia in?
Yes, they were imperialists, I agree on that. However, Russia invading Ukraine, I mean, yeah, that's a decision, but like,
A decision, huh?
You
Just
think
a
Russia?
decision.
You think no? Your Rainpower is right. It is a decision. It wasn't an obligation. Russia was never forced by anyone to invade Ukraine. If anything, the complaints about NATO expanding. First of all, people join NATO on a voluntary basis. People join NATO if there's a referendum and if the people of that country want it, and if the other NATO countries want to let them in. NATO is a defensive alliance. While I don't like NATO, it is not nearly as imperialist as a country like Russia or China would be, because again, it is a defensive alliance. And so the idea that NATO expansion caused Russia to do this, no one, you're speaking like Kane right now. No one forced Russia to invade Ukraine. And if anything, Russia caused its own demise. By invading Ukraine, it caused 2 new countries to join NATO out of fear. That seems, if they actually cared about, other countries joining NATO, they wouldn't have done something to specifically trigger potential NATO members to actually want to join, right? We had Finland and I believe Sweden or Norway that joined. The idea that since the Ukraine war started, so the idea that Russia fears NATO expansion is really ridiculous, because if they actually had concerns about other countries joining NATO, they would not have invaded Ukraine. Finland and a industrialized country like I believe like Norway is a much bigger threat to Russia than the under-militarized, corrupt, and disorganized Ukraine. Right before the invasion, the Ukrainian army was pretty shit, and it was only propped up due to Western help with equipment and instructors. So the idea that Ukraine poses somehow of a much bigger threat than a super prepared country like Finland and Sweden is really stupid.
Why would?
yeah, that does prove the fucking point. However, yeah, countries join NATO, yeah, out of fear, but it's not like NATO provide like soldiers the fucking Ukraine. They provided a bunch of military equipment, yes. Our
Yeah.
NATO has not done much to
What's
do
your point?
fucking support Ukraine.
Yeah.
And then
What's
like provide military equipment.
Yes, but I think back to the point of Trump. So
Yeah.
I guess we have a fundamental. You think that Trump giving Ukraine over to Russia is a good thing? Nether?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Definitely.
How would that be an advantage to America?
Okay, listen, if Russia, like if Putin gets really hot-headed, right, like scenario, you would probably, like if Ukraine decided to counterattack, invade Russia, right, which
Ukraine
I
will not
guess
have a counterattack
might-
that will threaten Moscow. That will never happen.
Okay, that won't happen. Okay, yeah.
Okay,
if
let's
they
be real now. No, let's be real now. If Russia really posed up that much of a threat, remember, there's literally one thing that can like.
Listen, giving Ukraine to Russia would de-escalate the situation by
Yeah,
a
it
lot.
would
You think so?
de-escalate, bro.
Worth it?
Have
They
you heard
have
of this?
nukes.
Cave into
We have
Putin.
nukes. We
Well,
can all
Have
die.
you heard of this
They
little
have nukes.
historical event called World War II, where
Yeah, did he
de-escalation
call-
by
do you
giving
remember
away
appeasement?
territory worked really well, right? First, we
Yeah,
gave away the
appeasement.
Sudetenland, we gave away Austria, we
Austria.
gave away the rest of Czechoslovakia, we gave away, and then we tried to give away Danzig, and then he invaded Poland.
Yeah, I
And then-
know. That's appeasement. I know.
That's
So-
This is appeasement.
but
This
yeah.
is literally appeasement. Did you forget?
Yeah,
You have selective memory.
However,
This is
listen,
giving
listen, you
away
either-
territory to a
However,
hostile
we
power.
have nukes at
This
this
is
point. I don't think.
They have.
back in World War II, there was not weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah, there
Uh-huh.
was no nukes. There was no weapon of mass
Yes.
There was no
destruction.
weapons of mass
nothing.
destruction.
Wait,
we-
did
That was a
we were not
completely
beyond
different
the line.
scenario.
you forget World War
Further
II?
using nuke would
Giving-
cause a multidal destruction of the
Exactly. No,
world.
using
No
a
shit,
nuke would cause a
exactly,
multi-destruction.
exactly.
But if Russia, gets fucking forced to that point, they would probably do it.
We
They
rather
wouldn't.
want them
How
to
do you
shoot,
know they
so we
won't
don't,
do it
we
again?
don't have the chances of getting nuked. All of us
They're
dying,
scared.
bro.
They're too scared.
Right now, Russia's getting forced to conventional warfare because they don't want to fucking, everybody
Exactly.
fucking
They're
die.
too scared of the US.
Exactly.
They
Yes.
would never go to nukes.
Yeah, you're right.
realistically.
They
So-
would go to nukes. They have seen.
They would.
Yeah, but they
They
would
would
not. They would not.
Okay,
No,
back
Russia has
that
enough
up.
nukes to
How
assure
would
a-
they-
what
value
is it?
Why would
themselves
they not?
over
They have
anything.
nukes.
Why would they
Russia
risk
has enough
that?
nukes to assure mutual
Yeah,
destruction.
Yeah, exactly.
They
Hold on, hold on,
Nowadays,
hold on a
as
second.
long as they start a
Mutual
nuclear
destruction-
exchange, they
destruction.
themselves are dead.
Nether, so,
Exactly.
so
They
Ne-
value themselves over everything. Why would
Nether,
they
is
go
your position
mutually
that-
assured destruction?
if we don't hand over Ukraine, Russia will use nukes?
Of course, because more tensions. It's literally like a war going on right now.
You think
There's
they will
two
kill
wars going
themselves
on
over
right now.
Ukraine with nukes? You think they will go to mutually assured destruction over Ukraine?
Probably. Yes.
Well,
Really?
I think that is.
Okay,
I,
you think they wouldn't
for
go
yourself,
into
Biden.
war if let's say
Think
if
for
America
yourself.
joins in the war? What would happen? What would happen? Let's say if like France joins.
America
Why
and
are
France will
you
not
putting
join the
it
war.
on
This is a
unrealistic
needless
scenario?
hypothetical.
So most countries are.
Yeah,
okay, wait,
that is a
okay.
very
Wait,
bad
can you put Moss awesome
How?
sauce on, bro?
Rain, what?
Can you pull what is it, Moss awesome sauce on? He has some like.
Can you
supportive
articulate? I can't hear what you're saying.
Put on
Can you,
Moss
what's
awesome
his
sauce.
Biden?
on.
What the fuck?
What's his name?
Let me get him up.
Why are we putting? Who's this guy?
Yes, he has
Oh,
support.
expert mouse.
He's on my side.
Thank you.
He's on my side.
I just need some backup on it.
Yeah, he's some better.
You guys
Oh,
have
it's
4
Moss.
people.
So about the whole Russia thing, I have at least some more information on that. Basically, the rationale behind Russia's whole doing it, like Russians value themselves way more than the outside world, so they don't really much care for anything. And the whole point about sorry, the whole point of like Ukraine being a threat to Russia is less about it's more about geography because like this, have entire NATO go against Russia. They will have to go to Belarus. If Ukraine was to join NATO, it would basically create a sort of pincer movement because you have Baltics up on the north and then Ukraine out to the south. Russia probably is scared because they would be forced to help Belarus, and they would be trapped if they do so.
Now, my response to this is, okay, and if the people of Ukraine wish to join NATO, which for the record, they didn't until the invasion happened, right? Prior to the invasion, Ukraine joining NATO was not even something considered even possible by either Ukraine or NATO, or even Russia for that matter. The idea that the potential strategic danger to Russia justifies murder, war crimes, invasion, bombing of civilian infrastructure is completely ridiculous. There is no moral basis for even if Ukraine joined NATO and that was the most devastating strategic blow to Russia, there is still absolutely no moral justification to this invasion. And to side with the invaders, I'm actually very surprised because that is probably one of the most anti-American
I never
things.
said I was side. I'm just pointing out the facts.
Okay, so I interpret that you agreed with Rain and Nether's positions.
Can't just ask you something.
It's alright.
Barbecue chicken
Can I
alert.
ask you something?
What the fuck?
Damn, you
is
haven't
that?
say
No.
anything. Jack.
Yeah, I
Come on,
can't.
say
Yeah, let me speak. Do you genuinely think that NATO will invade Russia? Just this is to Moss. do you think? Because NATO. first
NATO
and
would
foremost-
invade Russia if Russia
a
goes
defense-
beyond
it's a def-
Ukraine. Yes.
Exactly. Yes, NATO
It's-
first and
it's
foremost.
more or
Well, then
less
that's
the
not NATO
Heinz.
invading Russia. That
Yeah,
is
that's not
Russia
NATO invading
attacking a
Russia.
NATO
No,
country in
no,
Article
let-
5
let-
being invoked.
Let me answer,
Exactly.
let me
That's
answer.
why Russia.
Let,
if
let
it
me
came out
answer that.
Ukraine.
Let me answer
Wait,
this. Jesus
okay,
Christ.
okay.
for the question.
Let
Yeah,
Mark
this
talk.
not
I'll-
Yusuf.
It more or less depends how much stubborn Putin is. Like,
Mhm.
if Putin's like extremely stubborn, then there is a chance, not 100%, like more like say 5%,
Mhm.
because if you add all of NATO, US, and some of the EU countries,
Mhm.
Russians are basically outnumbered 5-1. And the worst part for Russians is once NATO start pushing, the front line gets thinner and thinner. They don't have enough men to hold it. So if NATO was to attack, which is like again minimal,
NATO
have
cannot attack
way
because
bigger
they're a defensive
successes
It's
than,
not
alliance.
like,
it's a defensive
anyone.
alliance. What I
No,
want
no,
to
I'm,
point.
I'm just saying it. I'm just saying it as a statement. I'm not saying
Well,
I'm not saying they will. There's a chance, but I'm not saying they will.
I just want to say that hypothetical is extremely unrealistic. We cannot compare Russia and NATO. They're not apples to apples. NATO is not an imperialist empire. It is purely a defensive alliance that countries voluntarily join to help bolster their security. Russia, on the
Against
other
Russia.
hand, has imperial.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be against Russia.
It is against Russia, though.
It is against Russia, yeah,
It's
but
mainly
not
against
only
Russia.
Exactly, mainly
Yes,
against
because
Russia. There
Russia
you go.
is a
It's
imperialist
a major
power
threat.
led by a
It's a major
maniac.
threat in Europe. Yeah, exactly. Russia, on the other hand, has very imperialist tendencies, and Putin. He thought that in 1991, Russia lost 23% of his territory. He wants to reclaim the former lands of the Soviet Union. Therefore, we cannot compare NATO going into Russia as Russia going to Ukraine. It's completely different because let's say if NATO were to go into Russia if Ukraine joined NATO, right? Article 5, right? That's completely different from Russia going offensively on Ukraine. NATO will be going in defensively. NATO would never attack Russia. So Russia's fear is unjustified.
But I think we can
And-
also
Hey, quick
abstract
question.
that.
Wasn't this about Kamala and
Yeah,
Trump?
yeah. So I'm trying to bring it
Yeah.
back there. I think
Oh,
we're
no,
even
no, yeah,
abstracting
we're
that
going
one more
back.
to
Yeah.
like one more level. Is that I think to the listener here, you can intuitively say that Russia is the bad guy here, and supporting Russia again, we're kind of going off track for the argument, but I think we can almost universally agree that supporting Russia is the wrong thing to do here. And to support Russia is completely un-American. Russia is one of the greatest geopolitical enemies of America. And if you support Russia in their expansionist conquests of democratic countries, right? Countries with the same system of government that America has, and you're going to support countries that are a dictatorship, first of all, I think that says a lot about Trump himself and his plans and his moral character. But it also just is against the interests of America. A strong Russia, a strong China is not something the average American wants because it's not something that benefits them. It leads to more imagine a stronger Russia. You would have more military spending, more defense spending, and that's less spending that goes elsewhere. Now, Sifa, you brought up the point, or Rain, of the money going to Ukraine. Now, that's different from the ethical argument. Is Russia... Can we stop deafening Jamal? I'm going to get whoever does that striked, so just stop doing that.
I'm trying to undeafen him, but they keep doing it. I don't.
Okay, thanks. So independent of the moral argument, there's the financial argument. Now you say we're giving billions of dollars to Ukraine, and I want to bring the point up that if Russia is our
It's just
geopolitical...
wasting money.
Yeah, so you say it's a waste, but I think defensive democracy is actually something that's worth fighting for. But secondary to that,
Okay.
this investment,
I'll let you
first
finish.
of all, it's not cash. It's old equipment, right? It's weapons testing. It's one of the
Okay.
It's one of the best ways to test military equipment is in the battlefield. U.S. military doctrine is being reevaluated because of what's happening in Ukraine. This is a great learning environment because the former tactics of America of the West seem to be kind of outdated looking in Ukraine, especially with the tanks. So they're reevaluating that. Second, this is an extremely cost-effective way of neutralizing Russia. Imagine this, $200 billion. That is less than 5% of annual U.S. military spending. And guess what we got for that? we got a near total neutralization of Russia's conventional forces. Russia cannot invade anything else. It is fully committed to Ukraine. It's requesting North Korean soldiers, North Korean ammunition that's probably completely dogshit because it's 50 years old. It needs it. So for $200 billion, the US and the West have completely neutralized Russia's ability to invade anything else. So that is probably one of the best investment of money you can have. Because for so little money, less than 5% of the spending budget, military spending, you're able to completely neutralize Russia's conventional forces so they can't invade anything else.
Okay. Now let's go
True,
back to
but-
the main topic, right?
Okay, let's go back to the main topic.
Let's go back
Okay,
to the
so
let's go back to
okay,
fucking
no.
election.
Okay, so let's talk about the immigration policy.
May
though,
I bring
really.
one
One
thing
of the
up?
most important ones.
Let's let the Texas speech man
Wait,
speak.
no, let me finish.
One thing
So,
before.
No, let's get Heinz.
Okay.
Okay, Heinz, let's talk.
Heinz, speak.
Trump's failure to control the COVID pandemic showed his morals and caused the death of many lives, which could have been prevented with more PPE equipment to medical service workers, and also Trump sought to cut key CDC budget.
That's true. I mean, we
Very
could go into
true.
the conspiracy
Very
theorist
true.
aspect.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys want to talk
mean,
about Trump's
about the-
early
about the
reaction
conspiracy
to the
aspect,
pandemic?
like,
Are we
I'm not
actually
sure
going
where
into
it's
conspiracy
just-
theories? Because
Well,
No,
that's
no,
what
no,
I'm saying
okay,
you
let's-
guys believe in, but
Yeah.
You're talking about like
Yeah,
the
let's-
COVID.
Let's talk about Trump's
theory,
character.
it's-
well,
Let's talk about Trump's character during the
but I
pandemic.
don't think the character.
Trump
No, we already had
promoted
this.
very
debate,
false
I don't think-
theories during the pandemic.
No,
Do you
it was
remember
So,
because
Nether,
what
I just wanna
Trump
bring a
sought to
distinction
defund
to
the CDC.
Evilly
you mentioned-
hydroxychloroquine.
you mentioned the character.
Like,
You
the
said,
COVID.
well, we don't really care about Winston Churchill, even though he was a racist and a genocidal maniac. We don't really care because he won World War II. And you're saying, well, Trump, we don't care about his moral character. He can be a rapist, it's fine, but he's going to fix the economy. Now, what I'll tell you
Yes.
is that Trump, first of all,
where did they-
he won't fix the economy. And you can just look at his economic policy. What is a policy that Trump will put forward that you think will improve the lives of people?
There's many things. but
Immigration
that-
policy.
Hold on, let's talk
And
about
no tax on tips.
no
No
tax on
tax
tips.
on. No
Okay.
tax on overtime. And it's gonna and like cut tax for the
reduce
rich.
the inflation.
So you think cutting tax for the
Reduce
rich is going to
inflation,
improve
yeah.
the economy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa, welcome back, Ronald
Just-
Reagan.
Yeah.
So you think?
Can I say something real
Yes.
quick? Burger, you say no tax on tips, right?
Yeah. No
But then you
tax on tips.
forget the other tax credits Trump is gonna cut, like the child care credit. That's gonna get cut.
I mean that's
that
okay.
alone
Okay. Now. Okay.
Helps
now
average
I can-
American way more than no tax on tips or no tax on overtime. It helps them way more, and you're just gonna let that expire. There's a statistic, I don't know where it is, but if I remember correctly, no tax on tips and no overtime is only half as effective at saving on tax costs than the child care credit alone for childbearing families. If you're just gonna let that expire, you're switching a superior tax credit for an inferior tax credit, as well as cutting taxes for the rich. Did you know Trump's economic policies will actually contribute more to the debt than Harris's policies? Did you know that? Trump
Does it?
will contribute
Really?
$5.8 trillion in debt to the national economy by 2030. By 2026, Trump's economic policies may cause up to 9.6% of inflation. And you thought Joe Biden's inflation was bad? This is going to be Trump inflation. Trumpflation. You want that.
Where are you
you
getting
want that
this
for our
information
economy.
from, Jamapple?
Alright, I'll post it. I'll post it in shitpost.
Now,
9.6%.
I
statistic I have.
slightly am going to take a different approach from Jam here because I personally don't care about the national debt. But just about the economy, you said the only two things you can actually come up with are no tax on tips and no tax on overtime. Now, aside from the fact that Trump actually didn't pay his employees overtime, that's just an aside here, more to his moral character. No tax on tips and no tax on overtime is not going to address cost of living crisis. How many people get tips at work? Very few. Very few workers get taxed on tips. And tax on overtime, well, most people already work full time, work some overtime, and a tax cut on overtime isn't going to make people meet ends meet any more than it already does. You know what his other main policy is? Tariffs. You think that's a good thing?
I mean, not really.
So you
Not
just
that I don't support
so-
that, but
so hold on. Do you think the tariffs are a good thing, Sifi?
no, I don't agree that the tariffs are a good thing.
Okay. So you think Trump will improve the economy despite his tariffs policy?
He will improve the economy because after Kamala and Joe Biden took office, groceries, everything
I've-
was like
Really, when
So-
you just
Ellen.
said the tariffs are just going to increase the price of groceries, that seems illogical.
So
very
how would
illogical.
so you think it will
I mean,
improve?
it's already increased by now.
So, but here's the thing, Sifi. Can you explain to me how increasing tariffs on pretty much every single foreign import is going to reduce prices?
No. I'm talking about when Kamala took when Joe Biden took the seat, the presidential seat.
You mean when
Everything
Joe
has gone
Biden?
up,
You
like-
mean when Joe Biden took over one of the worst economies ever? You know when Trump lost 800,000 jobs at the end of his presidency, when inflation was at its peak, when Trump was the president, and when he handed that over to Joe Biden. You see, all the bad economic points you're pointing at take place at the end of Trump's presidency, and then decrease throughout Biden's presidency. So that's just an obvious thing. You can just look at the.
Ash, I just want to point this out.
Yeah.
When Biden was celebrating about the job increases, most of the jobs were actually people returning, not new jobs created after the COVID.
Yes, you mean jobs returning from all the jobs Trump lost, right? So
But that job loss was because of COVID.
yes, and who
It's
poorly
not
managed
him.
COVID,
It's
right?
it's a bit bad just straight up. You can't pin it on him because it was
You
because of
can't
a
pin it on him.
pandemic. Like
okay, so but you're pinning inflation on Biden because of somehow that's different, right? So if you look in shitpost, you will see that there's a very good track record of very poor job growth under Republicans. That's just a thing about Republican presidencies. It's that the focus isn't actually on job growth. They talk about it in the election, but in practice, it's just cuts for the rich. If you'll just check shitpost announcement there. So
And can't
I also want to go back to the idea of tariffs because that's one of Trump's main policy, even more prominent. He talks about it even more than tax on tips or tax on overtime. And I just want to point out, you've been completely unable to explain how any of his policies would actually improve the cost
Ash,
of
you
living
might want
prices.
to check the shitpost again.
What about it? Did it not send?
Heinz just pointed out that after
Yes,
after
unemployment
Joe
rate
Biden
went up
took over
because Trump poorly
2020,
managed the pandemic,
unemployment just
obviously.
skyrocketed.
can I ask something real quick?
Yes.
Were you part of this debate?
Hold on. Speak, Jamapple.
Were you part of this debate? I forgot.
I
why
guess
you were.
they invited him. It's fine. They
Yeah,
gotta.
it's fine. Let's do
Yeah,
a 4v2. It's fine. But yeah, also, can I just say something real quick though?
Yes.
About the bounce back jobs, right? Mossy said that most of the jobs that Biden gained, presumably most of them, right, were from the pandemic, right? Well,
Yeah.
look in shitpost. 6.2 million jobs net were created by Joe Biden. All right, we lost 9 million jobs due to the pandemic, and we gained 15.6 million jobs, as of that statistic says
And-
May 2024.
Yeah, and again, the idea that the bounce back, the increase during Biden's presidency in terms of jobs is just because of the bounce back. That's pretty ridiculous. Because again, net since the beginning of Trump's presidency, he lost 2.7 million jobs. Biden gained 16 million. Now, how is it possible that how is it possible that 16 it went up by 16 million while only going down 2.7 million during Trump's presidency? So if these are COVID bounce back jobs, it is literally impossible that it is all of them. It cannot be more than 2.7 million jobs in terms of COVID bounce back jobs, which is what, less than 20%. So the idea that it's just bounce back from COVID is just inaccurate. But again, I want to really focus on the tariffs because that's Trump's main thing. You guys know how tariffs work?
Yeah, I know how they're.
May I show a graph,
Yeah,
Ash?
pretty much
Hold on, hold
taxes.
You can post whatever you want in shitpost, but I don't know. Nether, can you explain to me how a tariff on an import works?
Okay, so how does a tariff work, right? So basically, it's basically like taxes on imported goods, right? Kind of like that, with
Mhm.
like
Okay.
protecting like outside importing to America, like outside, yeah, Asia.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the idea
Yeah.
of a tariff is that you're gonna make goods that come from outside the U.S. more expensive to give an advantage to companies in the U.S. to produce for less. So let's say American company produces at $10 a product. Outside company produces at $8 because it's cheaper. People will want to buy the outside product. If you put a, I don't know, 50% tariff on that, it's now going to cost $12. Now the product made in America, only $10, is less expensive than the outside products. But does that make it easier for the average American? Will the average person be better off? The answer is obviously no, because you're only going to make outside products more expensive. Trump has talked about a 2,000% import tariffs on cars from Mexico, a flat 20% tariff on everything. This would be ruinous to the economy, and literally any economist would agree with this. The idea that tariffs are beneficial for the economy is completely ridiculous, and that was seen in his first presidency. You'll remember that he put tariffs on Chinese products, right? Chinese food products, yes, and started a trade war with China, right? You guys remember that? So if his idea of tariffing worked, and right, remember, these tariffs back in his first presidencies were very small. We're talking about 10%. Now he's talking about 100% tariffs, 200% tariffs. That's doubling the price of the item. And so during his first presidency, there was a trade war with China on multiple agricultural products. Now, what is interesting about that is that all the profit that was gained from the tariffs against Chinese agricultural products had to be paid back to American farmers in emergency subsidies because China, in the trade war, tariffed them back. And so no one made money. In his big bragging about, fighting China, fighting the trade war, fighting the trade deficit, who, for the record, Trump had one of the highest trade deficits with China's ever, Trump had to pay back all the profits he made off tariffs into the economy. Now, the only consequence of that is that people paid more for food. No one wins from tariffs if you're the biggest country in the world. Tariffs are only effective if you are a small country with a small industry. But America, they're number one, baby. So you don't need tariffs as America. All you're doing is making it more expensive for the consumers. And Trump wants to put tariffs on everything. Look at any product you have. Is it made in America? Hell no, it's not. Almost all of your shit is made outside of your country. And it's going to cost more.
Do you have anything to say? Because I'll let you give.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say on this shit, bro.
So do you have?
I mean, yes, it does localize. It does localize American, production in the American industry, but I guess it does increase prices.
But how do you think reorganization of assets work? So if suddenly things in another country, okay, let's say American product costs again $10, the outside product is $8. You put a 50% tariff, the outside product now costs $12.
15 or 50?
50%, yes. If it was 50% tariff,
50%.
it would be plus $4. Anyways, the idea is that if the outside product is more expensive than the American product, what would be the interest in investing greater in the American product? You don't have to lower prices. You don't have to build an economy of scale. You're already making your money now. So there is no economic benefit for the U.S. to impose tariffs, and he wants to put tariffs on literally everything. The cost of all goods that are imported, right? Literally, look, you're probably sat at your keyboard right now. Your mouse, your computer, your desk, your keyboard. Is it made in America? No, it's not. Every time it crosses the border, it's going to cost more. So there's no benefit to that. And you can ask any economist, even people that I would strongly disagree with. You can ask Milton Friedman. He doesn't believe in tariffs. He believes in free trade. And that was a Republican policy for... Alright, that is crazy. Why the fuck did Frosty do that? What a stupid bitch. Alright, let's get him back up here. Jam, get up here. Moss, get up here.
End the stage.
It was Frosty.
Yeah.
Can everybody spam ping Frosty in chat, say like fuck you or something? Alright? Go in chat and ping Frosty and say fuck you, idiot. Alright?
No, don't say it.
Okay,
No,
at least we can all
say it.
agree
Yeah,
on
my
one
permission,
thing.
guys. I will be the first
I
one to
hate
say it.
Frosty a Soldier so much, guys.
Yeah,
This guy
everybody
is
go say that.
very gay.
Everybody
They're
go say
saying
I
W
hate
Frosty.
Frosty soldiers.
They're saying no. They're saying W. They're saying W.
Just say W.
Why they say
Do we have
W?
everybody?
What
Are
to
we
say
missing?
W, bro? Anybody who says W gets demoted.
Yeah,
We're
literally.
missing-
Demote that
we
guy
missing-
named
Yeah,
Stunner
but-
Dead Body. Stunner's Dead
Fuck.
Body. Who is
Well,
he?
it's all Stunner. Stunner's the biggest hater anyways. He has no IQ, like, literally dumbest person in the server. Actually, I don't know. It's either that or Azrael. Hard to tell.
Ash, can you be real? Did you fucking study for this, man? Like,
Like, did you,
Yes.
you like prepare? Did you prepare? Oh my god.
Okay, I
man.
know that the economic, yes, I know
Yeah,
that.
I know
on the
a lot of
economist
things,
side,
but, like,
So are you
I
Iowa is
conceding the
better
point that
because
Trump will
of
not improve the
their
economy?
bid.
No, I probably
I-
could have give some arguments, but I didn't study for
So
shit.
okay, but
Gosh,
how do you? Okay,
okay.
but Trump, he's been campaigning, right? He's been campaigning for months now. How
Yes,
will he?
yes,
How will he make the
months.
economy better? He'll lower taxes, sure. He'll lower taxes on tips and on overtime. Most people don't make their money off tips, and the income from
True.
overtime will be marginal. How will he make the prices go down on grocery? Because Harris will do that. She'll put price caps on food. That's part of the plan.
Ash, I have to point
Okay, let's
something out.
on
Like,
this side.
you
Okay,
do
let's-
realize that Ash, you do realize that grocery stores make about only 1 to 3%, and most if Kamala puts price caps, what's going to happen is groceries won't be able to pay for any more products, and it's going to cause a Soviet-style food shortage because groceries won't be able to replenish anything if there's a price cap.
Walmart income 2024. Let's see. Poor
Like on
Walmart.
average, it's
Poor Walmart made a measly $650 billion in profit this year. I feel really bad for Walmart, and I really hope they're gonna make it through the next quarter.
what about the cost? What about the cost?
About what?
Like cost of operation, you're just counting up profit.
That is.
Do you know profit?
One thing-
Do you know what profit is?
That's not
Profit
revenue,
is
that's
income minus cost.
And after cost, they made 650 billion with a B. Takes 50
Oh, sorry, no,
0
my mistake.
0 0 0 0
200 billion. Sorry, after cost,
Oh.
it's $200 billion.
Okay, that's still how many
Yeah,
zeros?
really poor, really
9
poor.
zeros?
So the idea that some price caps on
11
essential
zeros.
commodities is going to cause a shortage is pretty ridiculous because the food industry already has massive government intervention in it. Think of the farmers. Farmers get massive amount of subsidies, and so putting price limits on that, if it's run through the back end by the government, which they already do, right? The government already funds the farming industry massively. It first of all, it will lower some food costs, and second of all, the farmers will still be making their money because they're already subsidized by the government, right? So
Okay,
again,
okay, I made a slight mistake. I wasn't like referring to like big ones like Walmart. I'm talking about like the small grocery store, just smaller ones.
small groceries. Well,
Yes.
sure, but most people get their food from large chains anyways, right?
Large change supports the rich and fucking,
Supports
Okay,
the rich.
so
Hey,
the
but
poor.
let me ask you this, Rain. Let me ask you this.
wait,
Cost of
so
living is bad enough anyway, as it is, right?
Yes, yeah.
After the tariffs, do you think Americans will care where their food comes from? As long they're gonna buy the cheapest, right? Trump is just making their pain bigger just by increasing prices on the cheapest food. Do you think that's a good thing for the American people? Just increasing prices on their necessities? They don't care where the things come from. They need to eat. They don't care if it's American. They need to eat, Rain.
hi.
Dude, what the fuck? Did he do it again? Holy fucking shit, man. Holy fucking shit. Sorry, I have to give
Yeah, fucking Frosty cut my ass off again. What the
I have to
fuck?
give a certain worded message to Frosty.
Let me get almost back up. Frosty want to join? Okay. Might as well.
Okay. CL members sleeping
My
getting like
God.
5 CL members getting
This-
5 everyone thinks.
Hold on. I can't even.
Oh,
Why is there a drafted on stage? What?
Hold on.
I'm just friends with him. I want
No,
to put
just
like
say
a
me.
tiny
Alright.
thing
So-
here.
Sure.
Okay, let's just restart it. Rain.
I'm thinking
I was
about
saying
that in my
earlier-
head, red. This book I better marry.
Oh my
Bro,
god.
AshApple, you just want to fuck them all up.
Okay, let's restart this.
Oh, okay. Okay, who said that? That was funny, bro.
That's not very. You're going to hell, you
Serious,
Protestant
are we
retard.
just gonna ignore how Trump also fucked them over?
No, but
Okay,
Rain.
okay, okay. Let me say something.
Well, yeah,
else.
let
No,
Ray
no,
finish
I
what
was-
he
no,
started
let me say
saying.
something.
I was speaking. I was
Continue.
So, as I was saying, right? Americans don't care where their groceries come from. Terrorists will only make it worse. Why would you support
No, hold on, JJ. I have a
Price
counter with
is
that.
on
Okay, terrorists.
What? What?
Terrorists are freaking taxed on imports, right?
Yes.
Yes, they are taxed on
However,
imports.
food isn't
Okay.
imported, Janja. Foods are mostly grown
Some
locally.
Food is mostly grown
Some
local.
food is imported.
That's
Some
like
food is
that's
imported.
like
Okay,
very
listen,
small.
listen,
That's like
Janja,
very
listen,
small.
There are fruits and veggies, man.
Hold on.
Listen, Janja. Fruits and vegetables are mostly grown
One at
locally
a
in the
time.
US.
Right, I
And
agree.
also,
So
meat
food,
are also grown locally in the
So
locally
about-
in the US. So tariffs wouldn't affect that.
you're right. 80%. You're right. 80% of food, 80% of food is produced in America. That is consumed in America.
Yes.
However, by putting tariffs and starting trade wars, you will bankrupt farmers like they did last time. It was so bad. Again, Trump had to pay back to farmers and subsidies, emergency subsidies, more than the entire profits they made from increased tariffs against China, $29 billion, because the trade war was bankrupting farmers. So even though, and again, this is not just food. These are 20% flat tariffs on every single foreign import. Like, think of your computer screen. Think of your mouse. Think of all the components in whatever electronic device you're using right now. 20% flat tariff on every single import. This is a ridiculous policy, and no one, right? Trump went on an interview on Bloomberg. Bloomberg, these are business people, generally.
Jeez.
Generally,
Oh my god.
generally Republicans, right? Business people, small business owners, generally Republicans. However, they didn't know what to say because Trump's propositions of 2,000% tariffs on cars were completely ridiculous. Even the business class has no idea what he is doing because it is a nonsensical position. There is a reason why Republicans always, or since maybe the 60s, the pro-business party in America, there's a reason why they were against tariffs. There was a reason why they were for free trade. They were for free trade because it was good for business. Tariffs are not good for business, and they're not good for the consumers either. And that's why no one has ever advocated for tariffs in America, because America has never needed tariffs to prosper economically. No party has ever advocated for that. Only Trump started to do that in 2016, and obviously all his base went with him, but the economists never went with him. All the classical right-wing or conservative economists, Milton Friedman, Thomas Sowell, they were all free trade guys because they know that tariffs don't work. Even them know that tariffs don't work. No one has ever been in favor of tariffs for a major country like America. Trump is the first one to do that, and it won't help the consumer.
Okay.
He got kicked again.
Oh my god.
One thing I want to say is during the whole Trump presidency, my dad was okay. I'm Asian. I'm Chinese. My dad runs a restaurant. During the entirety of the Trump presidency, there was just trouble after trouble after trouble, and then COVID happened during Biden, which was even more trouble for shit. Just on and on end. Everything kept getting more expensive. That's just kind of it. He kind of like told me a bit about like restaurant earnings and profit margins, and it just kept shrinking.
During COVID.
After COVID, it shrunk a fuck ton because, nobody could actually run businesses.
Yeah,
but during the Trump presidency, he said some stuff about how, like, people are starting to go less because apparently having a bunch of Asian people run a restaurant after having fucking being called a bunch of other shit from Trump, it kind of sucked.
Yeah, so
who could have guessed, huh?
That's kind of the moral character of Trump. Now, obviously, I don't think anybody's surprised by the fact that Trump is a racist, right? He went on that radio show, and that was really recent, 2 weeks ago, saying that migrants are criminals because it's in their genes. It's in their genes. Now, that is indistinguishable from, I don't know, a certain man named Adolf Hitler. It's in their genes. That is...
Whoa.
I am completely correct here. Whoa. I am completely correct here. This is an identical position. The idea that criminality and evil behavior is baked into the gene of a specific race?
Alright.
Who do you think came up with that?
Like that one game, criminality. No way. He said criminality. It's crazy.
Oh, hold on.
We have such good vice admins.
Yeah, no, we have,
such a
for Frosty.
we have such good CEO high command, man.
This is such an amazing.
civil debate.
Such an amazing debate, guys. Such an amazing debate.
No, they didn't even rap battle.
Lord.
That's like the worst part.
Where's the rap battle, man?
There wasn't a rap battle. If it was me debating, I would have prepared like a script. Yo, feed! Feed!
Alright, where the hell are the
Okay.
where are the others?
I'm getting this guy Frostius. Hold on. Is everybody
Okay, I
on
mean,
stage
it isn't
now?
a professional debate, so you can't really.
Breakfast crushes balls.
Yeah, Frosty, try not to be the most retarded person in the server.
I mean, like,
Who's
there's no
talking?
laws against trolling, so like,
Oh yeah.
you can't really.
Trump
I
is
mean,
a
yeah.
racist, and the idea that certain races have genetic disposition for criminality or degeneracy or unwanted behavior is literally Nazi rhetoric. There is no difference. It is identical. Right? Why do you think? Why do you think Hitler didn't care if someone said, "Well, I don't believe in the Jewish religion"? Because it's not about the religion. It's about what he perceived to be ethnicity and genetics and race. Right? This is just.
Can't like anyone be Jewish though? That was kind of stupid.
Not,
No,
not
but I'm
ethnically.
Polish.
So
No,
you
no.
understand that there's
yeah.
a religion and there's an ethnicity, right? There's two different things.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
that's
yeah,
why.
right.
No,
that's
I
why-
mean it is kind of ethnicity, bro. But
yeah,
because
that's what I'm
like
saying. It is. There was.
it
there was,
is, no,
There was.
it
That's
is.
what. Yeah, you can be religiously Jewish.
that's why stereotypes
and,
is the
and you
thing,
can be
right?
ethnically Jewish. And so Hitler didn't really care about the religion aspect, right? The idea was that they were genetically inferior, and that's why they also went after Slavs. What people don't know is that in the same way that Jews were, about 11 million Slavic people were killed during the Holocaust, either through firing squad or just sent straight to concentration camps, in the same way that Jews were. The Roma people, right, also known as gypsies, right, they were also targeted. It's not because of a religion, it's because of what was considered to be genetic inferiority. And so this rhetoric is the same one you find in Trump, right? The people are criminal because it's in their genes. Another quote, they're poisoning the blood of our country. That is literally what you would see in like a national, like a History Channel documentary about Hitler. So I think that's pretty much an undisputed point.
Okay, wait. Why are you trying to compare Trump to Hitler though?
Because I think because everybody agrees Hitler is bad. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody. How would I? If I.
There's such a big wait.
Look, imagine I compared him.
I hate that guy.
Answer the
Good
question.
job.
Answer the question.
Okay, guys, stop.
Was Hitler a bad person?
Imagine I compare.
Stop. Let him talk.
Okay.
Okay. Dude, just get out my head. Get out my head. Get out my head.
Rain,
Get
answer the
out my
question.
head.
Shut up real quick, man.
Rain, was Hitler a bad person?
Shut up,
Answer the
Jam.
question.
Shut up.
Shut the fuck
Okay, I
up,
don't think
Jam.
Heinz
Answer the
gonna.
question.
Shut the fuck up, Jam.
Guys, is Heinz gonna say anything?
Heinz, go ahead.
Hey, Heinz, go.
What?
Oh, he's not. Okay, he's not gonna say anything.
No,
Okay.
I was speaking.
The reason I'm comparing, I'm not saying that Trump thinks Hitler was good, or actually, well, funny thing, you guys heard, right, that he asked his chief of staff to have generals like Hitler had. That's pretty funny. But I don't think that Trump genuinely likes Hitler. However, the thought principle, the way he thinks, and the way he perceives race and ethnicity, is very similar. Now, I don't think he has the same groups that he hates. I think Hitler couldn't give less of a shit about Mexicans going into America. I don't think he had much of an opinion on that. And I don't think Trump has the same opinion on Jews that Hitler has, right? However, I think the same basic thought that this race is bad, inferior, genetically
I
disgusting.
don't think he. Okay, Ash. I don't think he went that far.
He
Okay, I
said
think
that
he's
it's-
just saying that
that
because
it
he's
is-
stereotyped.
Based off
I don't-
like
He said
Yeah.
he said the
statistics.
crime is in their genes, and that they're poisoning the blood of America.
Well, they kind of. I mean, let's be real
Also,
now.
may I
We
say
have Hitler
one thing
fans here?
about tariffs before we start getting into
Okay, Ash.
speculation and racism?
Both me and Rain. We live in blue states, okay?
Yeah.
We like hella liberal states, okay? So like we see hella shit about it, okay?
we see
So, like,
shit.
So,
bro.
oh,
we
you want to talk
see
about
shit, okay?
you want
We
to talk
see
about
shit
crime
about it.
rates? Okay, first of all, your personal anecdotes mean completely nothing to me, and should mean nothing to anyone listening. Right? They're meaningless. So, if you want to talk about crime rates or immigration, you know that crime rates are down, right? Historic lows of crime rates. You're aware of that?
Listen real quick. Okay, crime rates has I think has a heavy correlation with immigration. Like if you look at the
yeah,
graphs.
do you know what the correlation is? That's the funny thing. Do you know what the correlation is actually negative? So you'll know that what you call, by the way, what is referred to as illegal immigrants are almost exclusively asylum seekers. So they're undocumented. They have no papers, but they're in America in a legal process, which is called a demand for asylum. Now it happens that they go to the border, they cross the border, maybe not an official checkpoint, but they say whenever they get found by the police or whatever border guards, they go, "Hey, I want to request asylum." And so this is the process where, in the meantime, they get to stay in America. They get a court date, say, come back in 6 months. Come back in 6 months, and then you'll have your court date, and the court decides you get asylum or you don't get asylum. Now, the interesting is, 98% of these people show up to their court date. That's the first thing. And second of all, during that time, because if they do commit a crime, they're almost exclusively immediately gone, right? Because they have no papers at that time. They commit half the crime per capita that American citizens do, and I can link you the source for that. But the idea is that people that are undocumented and that can be sent away to their war-torn country or their very, very shit country in the blink of an eye because of one mistake are much less likely to commit a crime than an American citizen would be. So the idea that migrants commit crimes is a ridiculous idea because it's just not true. People, what you call illegal or undocumented immigrants, commit less crimes per capita than American citizens. That's because they have much more to lose by committing a crime. And the idea that brown people commit crime is just a racist idea. Because you have to look at the socioeconomic conditions that lead to whatever you'd be pointing at. But the thing is, the data doesn't even exist to back up that migrants commit crime. So if you want to check the sources, then shitpost announcements. So, okay, so no one's going to say anything? I guess no one's going to contradict? No objection? So another thing is about
I think
overall
most
crime
people are
rates.
just trying to read it because give us a minute, let us at least read it.
Crime rates are down everywhere. Violent crime, property crime, these are all down. And you might say, well, I don't like the FBI statistics or whatever. But essentially all crime index are going down. And it's interesting that people think that crime is going up. That's because they only keep talking about it, right? Every single Trump rally will have someone say, oh, crime, migrant crime is up, you have to bring crime under control. Crime is at a near historical low. Now, interestingly enough, almost every single year after year, Americans think that crime is going up, which is something pretty interesting because we keep talking about it.
I think I know why. This, like, the graph says like all of the documented. What about the undocumented? Because here's the thing, like,
the rate of documentation of
it's only the ones that you can like physically, like, at least mentally be able to like.
Do you have any evidence that documentation of crimes is going down at a rate higher than the graphs that show that crime goes down?
Give me a minute.
So I actually have the graph. So of the documentation of crime. So documentation of crime did slightly go down, but it didn't go down in a way that resembled in any way the graph of total crime. So if documented crime did go down, like documentation percentage of crime did go down, it just doesn't match what our actual crime rates are. So that means that there is a real decrease in the amount of crime being committed. And this makes sense because crime is caused by poverty and poor living conditions. And obviously, while people aren't doing great, and in terms of buying power, it may have gone down on certain standards, like I don't know, since the 70s, I don't know, literacy, like basic absolute poverty, it has gone down. So it makes sense that crime would go down overall.
Most of the documented crimes are serious crimes. Like, what about the petty theft, which mostly go undocumented?
So again, documentation of property victim. So I believe property crime is theft. I think that's what it means.
Yes, true. Okay.
So a violent crime would be like a mugging or whatever, and then a property crime would just be like a theft. So again, now it's completely understandable that people think that crime is going up, because again, every year Americans think that crime goes up from the previous year, even when it doesn't, right? But that's because it keeps being talked about. And obviously, crime is an issue, and I'm sure people have personal anecdotes of oh, I've been victim of this crime and that crime. But if you look at the data across the country, crime just is not going up. It went up at the beginning of COVID, and I think we can understand why crime went up at the beginning, in the first year of COVID in 2020, right? People were locked down, and people obviously were in a much worse mental state, right? COVID had a big effect on a lot of people's psychological state, and it makes sense that crime went up for that 1 year, but then it went back down. So again, the narrative that immigrants are coming in and they're causing crime is just not true. And the other thing about immigrants is that they're good for the economy. Can someone who opposes the immigration here say why they would be bad for the economy? Can someone give me one of your reasons?
Let me think about this.
Why is it bad?
Well, it doesn't affect us because we have at least more job. Like, there is an effect, but it's only if we have. It's only a problem if we have more unemployed than we have jobs, because.
Which is not the case. We have what, 4% unemployment? And I don't think migrants that have come in from El Salvador are competing with someone who graduated with a computer science degree, right? They're not competing with these jobs. So does anyone here can give one reason why economically immigrants are bad for the country, or even illegal immigrants are bad for the country?
Job-wise, yes, they wouldn't be bad, I guess. Because they take all the, like, hard labor jobs, I guess.
So why is immigration bad?
Yeah, there's not really much downside to immigration.
So again,
I mean, if you also think about it,
overpopulation, okay, of the.
Overpopulation.
I mean, I guess that's kind of racist, yes.
Native birth rates are going down. You are not at. Holy fucking shit.
I think I can guess who did this.
It's Frosty.
Yeah.
He's a stupid fucking bitch.
Yeah. Oh no, it was Zalader. Frosty is giving Marshall. Oh god.
Bro, did I get cut off again?
Yeah.
Yeah, Frosty is.
Why is people targeting me? I got cut off like 3 times already.
I don't know.
Oh, fuck.
Who was on the stage? It was Jamapple. I've no clue. No, I can't.
Greatest. Very, very good fucking vice admins.
Yeah. Well, CL mod team, try not to be retarded. Okay, I've invited, and where's Jimmy? So Jimmy, what were you saying about the immigration?
I'm saying, like, if you think about it historically, the U.S. was built on immigration.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Heinz wanted to let you know, there's something going. It's just, yeah.
Sorry, someone deafened me. Can you say that again?
Unshots, Hans, it's fucking Egypt being invaded right now.
I don't know what's happening with Heinz, but he says he heard gunshots outside his area, so he's muted.
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
Hey,
I hope
listen, you see this feel perfect
this
fucking
is what
argument on crime
immigration has
rate.
done to America. But
Where is he at? Chicago?
In all seriously, Jimmy brings up a very good point, is that immigration is essential to America. So you have, what, 20 million, I don't know, 15 million undocumented migrants in America? That is 5% of your workforce. And you bet these guys are working, because they're not getting any government benefits, right? You guys know that. So if someone has no green card, no visa, no citizenship, they are not getting government benefits. So they have to work if they want to survive. These people, because they do get a paycheck, they contribute 6.5% of their paycheck to Social Security. So every year, and I can give you the source on that if you would like, but immigration contributes $10 billion every year to Social Security. So they're not getting any of it, right? Because they don't have citizenship, they don't have benefits. However, migrants provide $10 billion a year to Social Security, which is something that they don't get any benefits back for. If they get deported, if their asylum request gets denied, they will never get that back. They had 7% of their paycheck taken for the American people, and they never got any of it back. And so that's just one of the ways in which they contribute to the system. I just like the quote. You guys know Milton Friedman, right? Yes.
Milton Freeman. No, I don't think so.
Okay, never mind. Then if, I won't go. But basically, he was Ronald Reagan's favorite economist, and I think he's still dead. Still not dead yet, unfortunately. But hardcore Republican, from the Republican era, and he explained that illegal immigration is a good thing for the United States. It's a good thing for the citizens of the country, as long as they don't get any government benefits, which they are not. And so these migrants make up 5% of the workforce. If you were to deport them all, you would go in a recession. There is no way that removing 5% of the American workforce, which are mostly low-level jobs, right? If you remove these jobs, which aren't going to be filled quite easily, then you will have a recession. And jobs that depend on these low-level jobs being filled out will not work. The farming industry is dependent on undocumented migrants to fulfill their labor, because they don't have enough people working there. So again, I have yet to hear one good argument here against migration here, and even cutting down on undocumented migrants.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You think it's time to wrap it up at this point?
Sure. But again, I just want to like Rain, Nether, and
I just want to point out something. For the past like half an hour, we were only talking about bad about Trump. How about bad about Cam?
All I remember about shit stuff that Kamala did was just mostly shit border control.
Ooh.
I don't think the border bad. I have no qualms about letting migrants in. So you guys saying bad border control, but you can't name a single thing that's bad about migration.
Yeah, no. That's the only argument I've heard against Kamala, which doesn't really work.
So Mr. Trump is better. Our little Trump team here. You've conceded that the tariffs were going to increase prices, so it's not going to fix inflation, which is already, by the way, down back to 3%, which is a completely normal rate. It's not.
I forgot. I wanted to add this about inflation. Even though it's supposed to be like helping the people who are like producing stuff locally, it doesn't really work all that well half the time. If it just makes everything more expensive, people might just go for some sort of alternative instead.
That's also true.
Which, yeah.
If you're willing to pay $8 for a foreign product, just because now the only cheapest option is 15 doesn't mean you're going to buy that $15 product. It means you might just go away without it entirely. So,
yeah, you might just not buy it and save the money.
Exactly, hinder consumption. So again, my Trump friends, you've conceded the economy point, right? It's not going to lower prices. Moss, you think tariffs will lower prices?
Sorry. That was just my mic.
Okay, so it's not going to lower prices. The economy, again, I don't like the Democrats' economic policy because I'm a leftist. But it is certainly less disastrous for the American people than Trump. What we're going to see on the Democrats is business as usual. There's going to be some tax credit for new homeowners. It's going to make it marginally easier. They're not going to make big leftist reforms that are going to make housing more available. But it's certainly not going to be disastrous and really price, economy destroying like what Trump is proposing. So that's for the economy. And the other thing you said, immigration and crime. Crime is down, nearly historical lows. Immigrants commit less crime, and again, that's proven. They commit half the crime per capita as citizens do. That's because they know that if they get caught, they're going to be much worse off than a citizen would be, because they have less money, less resources, they know less people, less access to a lawyer, and they're going to get deported. So immigrants commit less crimes, and immigrants are essential to the American economy. 5% of American labor power is immigrant labor, without undocumented migrants, right? And without them, we are having a recession. To deport 20 million people, not only would you have to make it literally look like the Holocaust, right? Like, how are you going to deport 20 million people in 4 years without a police state? You're going to have to build camps. You're going to have to build transition facilities. You're going to have to build, ship them over railroad. I just want to point that out, right? First of all, you can't even do it logistically in a humane way. And second of all, it's going to be ruinous to the economy. So there is no point on which Trump is better, on which Trump is better than Harris. Again, yeah, I agree. The Democrats are business as usual Democrats. Sure, they're not going to magically fix all of America's problems, but they're not going to exacerbate them in a disastrous way like Trump intends to do. So I yield my time.
So, I'd say we just start closing statements
If anybody,
now.
well, that was my closing statement. If anybody else wants to end on something.
Oh yeah, I'll just finish it. I didn't speak much. I don't think I had a good opportunity because Ash covered the points that the Kamala team wanted to make in great detail. But all I personally want to say is that you've seen it here. However long it took, you can see that Trump's policies are not going to help America. Trump's policies are self-interested and they only cater to the rich, not to the average American. While I as well do not agree with both candidates' policies, I believe that Kamala will not harm America as much as Trump. I yield.
Rain, Moss, Nether. One of you guys go.
Nether is muted. He said he has to be muted. So,
okay.
Rain?
Yeah.
No closing statement.
So Rain, you can go ahead.
I don't really have a closing statement.
Alright, well, it's over. Thank you for attending today. Go to
I do have one closing statement.
Oh yeah, let's let Moss say something because the Trump team hasn't said anything.
Well, it was nice debating you, even though it was kind of skewed since
it was kind of
MrAshApple probably has like 50 fucking documents in his DMs or something.
Yes,
but it was at least it was at least somehow funny just hearing MrAshApple just pull out all of his brains just that he was implanted in his college.
Okay,
just for this pep talk.
MrAshApple, be real. How much fucking pages do you have in your fucking second monitor right now?
So there's the one that I use for this one is actually pretty short. It's there's a
apparently it was something that happened near Heinz that was making it sound like gunshots. He's fine now.
Okay, good.
Oh, okay.
It was so late.
Okay.
So late.
If you guys want, I can just post whatever document I used. I'll just
make one more thing.
One closing statement I kind of want to add is during the whole before Joe Biden dropped out and elected Kamala Harris, everybody was joking on the fact that it doesn't matter who wins, it's both going to be senile presidents. Like,
of course.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But like in this case, we have one dude who's obviously trying to do something that everybody thinks would be good, but statistically and historically speaking, usually ends up bad. And then just another side that kinda doesn't know what they're doing either.
Well, we still have one senile candidate, right? I don't know if you guys have watched his recent interviews. His brain is melted, right? He went on Bloomberg.
I don't think he knows how to talk properly anymore.
No, well, he still can talk. He obviously can talk better than Biden, right? But his ideas are incoherent. If you listen to him on Bloomberg, he has no idea what he's talking about when he's saying tariffs. He said, tariffs are a beautiful word. I love the word tariffs, and I think people say it's a scary word, but I believe it is a very beautiful word. And he just says nothing, and is really, really rambly. It's something that you should watch. You guys should look at a Bloomberg interview like 2 weeks ago. It was really bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so
at this point, probably picking.
To the last.
By this point, most people are just picking between one different kind of retardation. We have one real, and we have.
Heinz, just tell me that, and then I'll say it.
I can say it.
I hope you guys found this at least entertaining to the listeners, and you know, God.
Wait, I can speak now.
Oh yes, let him
give
finish
the
closing statement.
Closing statement.
Oh, never mind.
I think I'm dying.
Type it, I'll say it.
I think I'm dying. Okay.
Okay. Heinz wanted me to say, tariffs have not provided any meaningful share of revenue for the U.S. government since the early 1900s.
Okay. Can I? Okay. So I agree with you guys with a lot. Like not a lot, but some of the immigration shit. Tariffs, of course, that's kind of shit. And I'm being honest, this argument was a bit one-sided, and I didn't study for shit, so I could have given you guys a lot of counters and a lot of shit, but I wasn't prepared. I'll just tell you guys, I was not prepared for this. I'm being honest, Ash. I went here just to roast Jamapple, okay? I was here just to roast Jamapple, okay? I was holding my, I was like punching my fucking leg so hard, like trying to not say the N word. Okay, like I think my leg is like red right now. Okay, so like.
Is it over?
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Is it over?
It's over.
Is it over?
All right. So
Fuck you, Johnny, fucking dirty, fucking liberal, fucking.
to the listeners, I
Thank
hope
you for today. Thank you for listening to both sides' arguments today. I really appreciate it. Ash, thanks.
Before we end this,
People left.
Thanks
Like
a lot.
Okay,
There's like nobody left.
I want to,
Of course
guys,
there's nobody
to
left.
the people that are listening here, I want to do a poll. I don't want to know which side you're on, but look in shitpost. Hold on. Okay, check shitpost. I sent a message that said perspective change. After this debate, has your perspective not necessarily switched sides, but have you changed your perspective a little bit after this? Have you learned something? Have you considered something new? Go in shitpost.
Give us the yellow option.
I would like all 14 people here to go and click a button. Has something, not even a side switch, but has your perspective on things.
Who the fuck creates a
altered
9-page document for this? Bro?
Okay,
What the
yeah,
fuck?
this is over. I'll leave now. I'll
Alright.
take my
I
leave.
told you, Apple has fucking a
Bro does
bazillion.
9 pages for a fucking CO argument, right? No way.
Alright,
I
but
told you.
if you
bro,
enjoyed
he
the
speaks for
Bloodsport and you want it to be
Canadian
even more,
government.
because this was actually pretty civil. If you want like ultimate violence, come back next weekend because I will be facing off a 1v2, Geisen versus and me. Geisen and Drag versus me. Okay, so that's gonna be actual Bloodsport.
Okay, that's gonna be
This was
much
this
better.
one was
That's gonna be
friendly.
awesome.
But next
This
weekend
one's civil.
is going to be Bloodsport.
I wanna see guys in
Wait, Ashton, what are you arguing with them for? What are you arguing with
We're
them?
gonna be arguing about
Topic.
socialism.
Social.
Okay.
Oh
It's
god,
gonna be
I'm
Bloodsport.
going
to
for
beat
sure.
MrAshApple. I'm going to beat MrAshApple.
Okay, all right.
Alright, thanks for today, guys. Have a good day. You know,
Thank you for
I-
today, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, right the fuck now.
We need Frosty to end the stage here.
Okay,
This is
everyone
great.
in the stage.
Yeah.
Once MrAshApple leaves the stage, do a firing squad on him.
Okay, but I just want to say,
this
guys,
is great.
half the people had their perspective changed today. I think that's a huge win. All right, so
No,
people-
that's a draw. That's a draw.
no,
That's more of a draw.
I'm not saying like who side, which side won. I just asked, did your opinion change today? And half the people said yes. So I think that's a very big win. All right, huge
True.
win. So
True.
yeah, thank you guys for being open, and I hope I see you guys or I'll see you guys
Yep.
then.
Thank you,
Let's
Ash.
fix
I'll
this.
see you for-
Everyone
good
click the
luck-
red cross.
good
Everyone
luck
click the
November
red cross.
4th.
Do
Okay,
it.
bye guys.
Do the funny.
Bye,
Just piss
Ash.
off Josh.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, well that
Later.
was fun. Whew. Oh my lord. Is anyone watching the stream? It'd be pretty crazy. No, I don't think so. Okay. Anyways, let's end the recording here.